The Mario Rosenstock Podcast with On Ice, Ireland's premium ice skating experience, where winter memories are made. Visit onice.ie.
GoLoud. Sounds better with us.
Coming up on this episode of the Mario Rosenstock Podcast.
Do you know what I did get the last time?
What? Did you get your eyes done?
No, I got trout sperm injected into my face.
Go on, yeah, I'm loving it.
He said trout DNA, and I said, does that mean trout sperm? And he literally went, well, it does actually.
Well, I can safely say that this is the first time I've ever discussed trout sperm on this podcast, or ever in my life. I don't think those two words have ever come out of my mouth, and actually that's even difficult to say itself. But that's the great thing about Alan Hughes. He's just so honest, he's irreverent, and often hilariously funny. And after 25 years on Ireland AM and 30 years on stage in pantos, Alan is such a familiar face and personality to us all. And in our chat, we go behind the man himself to talk about what his remarkable career has entailed, what drives him to work so hard, what keeps him going, what makes him tick, misbehaving celebrities, why he thinks panto is suffering from political correctness, and much, much, much more.
The Irish Times got on to me because the prince kissed the princess at the end of the show when she didn't ask to be kissed.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I literally went, Sleeping Beauty, she wakes up then and she's saved. If he didn't kiss her, she'd be still dead. It's not a great end to the panto. Like, Tommy is like a spoiled child. You don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. He doesn't know half the time what's coming out of his mouth, like, you know. And it's like going, and then afterwards you go, why in Mother of Jesus did I say that? Yeah. Like, you know, and you go, because it's you, Tommy. There's kids coming to our pantos the first time they've seen live theatre. It's not on a telly, it's not on their pad, it's not on their phone, It's live. And when you see a child's face literally with their eyes wide open or their mouth open, watching all these things happening, it's a joy to watch. I said, well, you did it at the Oscars with the selfie. Let's do a selfie. So I walked over to her, got the phone out. I could see the PR woman running towards me to grab the phone off me. And I just got it. And I have it on my Instagram there. And it's her face like,
Yeah. My full chat with Alan Hughes coming right up. But first of all, this Mario Rosenstock podcast is back for a new season. And we couldn't be back if it wasn't for our fantastic new sponsor, On Ice. .ie. On Ice, Ireland's premium ice skating experience, returns and is bringing back the magic of ice skating nationwide this festive season. And we really are in that season where people are going to be looking for things to do out and about. The weather's getting chillier, it's darker. We're looking for, winter things to do. And what could be better than ice skating? And On Ice have locations in Dublin, in Dundrum and Swords, Marion Market in Cork, as well as locations in Waterford, Limerick and Galway. So why not enjoy Ireland's #1 festive and family entertainment this Christmas? And listen, you don't even have to be an amazing skater. Just go out and give it a try. It's fantastic fun for all the family. As I said last week, I'm going to be trying it and I'm going to be reporting back to you to tell you what I made of it and if I have any aptitude or anything at all. So listen, if you want tickets, grab your tickets now at onice.ie. Onice.ie. I couldn't think of a better, fresher, funner thing to do this Christmas season than going ice skating with onice.ie. And again, thanks to the guys in On Ice for supporting the Mario Rosenstock podcast. Okay, before we get to Alan Hughes, it's time for the Mario Rosenstock voicemail hotline. Hi, you've reached the Mario Rosenstock podcast. Please leave a message.
Mario, Ivan Yates here.
I'm Matt Cooper.
Listen, great to hear Alan Hughes telling it like it is, getting stuck into the woke brigade. The pantos, they need to get even more risque. Forget all this transgender nut.
Ivan, sponsor.
Good luck. This is President Donald J. Trump. Alan Hughes, great guy. I had the great honor of seeing him perform, watching Ireland AM on my last time in Doonbeg. Fantastic place. Great guy. Sammy Sausages is a great, great Irish hero. And believe me, nobody knows more about sausages than me. Thank you.
Guys, this is Louis Walsh. Tell me more about this trout sperm. I need to know. Do you inject directly into your face or what? Because the stuff I'm on at the moment, it's just not working, guys. Give us a call. Thanks, Alan.
It's Ivan Yates again.
And Matt Cooper.
By the way, Alan, if you're looking for two panto dames, myself and Matt look great in a dress.
Oh no,
don't
we
we,
don't.
Matt?
Oh no, we don't. Oh no.
Well, when you tried it on, you looked fantastic.
Oh no, I didn't.
That is a great image. I think that is a wonderful image of Matt and Ivan as panto queens, dames. Okay, it's time to meet Ireland's hardest working entertainer, Alan Hughes. And speaking of entertainment, that's what Alan and I both have in common, a long career in the entertainment industry. So we kicked off the chat right there.
Alan, great. Thanks for joining me on the podcast.
You're more than welcome. Delighted to be here.
Yes, I am delighted you're here. And you know, I was thinking, you and I have something in common. We have actually quite a few things in common. And that is, you and I have both been working right now for 25 years at the same thing.
Yeah.
I've been doing Gift Grub for 25 years on Today FM. And you've been doing 25 years on breakfast television, first with TV3 and now with Virgin
Media. But 25 years with Ireland AM.
25
And you were very good to come on that morning to celebrate our show with us. And yeah, it's incredible to think it, because lots of people go, 25 years in TV is a long time, because TV is a very transient media, as you know. And I don't think, when there's very few people over the years who've survived 25 years on national television, and I'm one of them. So yeah, I suppose, do you know what? When I look back at it, I think, wow, that was an achievement. And the week of the 25th birthday, just to see all the tapes and the clips and all the people I've interviewed over the years, all the things I've done, and you just go, wow, yeah. Because you know yourself, you're doing the show, you don't be thinking, oh, I'm doing it 25 years, I'm brilliant.
Not at all.
No,
but it is up to people like me to point it out to you.
Yeah.
I know you feel, people have said, well done, Mario, when you're 25 years or whatever, but it's up for people like me to point it out to you that it is an amazing achievement to weather almost 25 years of a business. Now, people will be out there, and I don't want people to think, these little, sort of lovey softies, and they're so great to be in the same job on their lovely TV spots. The reason I say it is TV is a really, really rough game. It's ruthless. There's a freelance element to it. You can be chopped at any time. Very little security. And in your case, it's not a soft job because, what time would you have to get up?
Well, see, I've cut it down so fine now.
Well, then, when for normal.
No, but literally, I've always, it used to be sort of, I was never really more than 5:30.
Okay.
Now it's 10 to 6. So everything's done the night before. It's up at 10 to 6, leave the house 6:05, in for about 6:25, into makeup, quick rehearsal, and we're on air.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff is sent to you the night before. So your briefs are sent to you. You know what you're doing. And unless you're interviewing the Taoiseach or there's a really heavy story about someone's life story, the majority of it is quite shooting the breeze and having a bit of fun. So that's not so we can actually take it a bit easy, but not too easy.
So some of the girls have to arrive in a bit earlier.
Oh no, the girls are a totally different story. No, totally different. Like Mirren, and over the years, Maura Duran will kill me. Maura Duran used to never have her full makeup done at 7 a.m. Never.
Yeah.
She would have it done by 8. So during a commercial break, she'd be getting another little bit put on. She'd be presentable at 7, but the full makeup would be done by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that was their case every morning. So it'd be yeah, I'm here. Then during the news, somebody would be coming in, she'd be getting another bit done, and then she might do an interview. And then by the time it came around, she was fully done by 8 o'clock.
Girls with their hair and everything.
Oh, no.
They would be in at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, they would. They'd be in sort of 4:30, 5 to be sort of, because it would take some of them over an hour.
Yeah.
I don't think Mirren's is bad now. I think Mirren sort of, she does her own makeup.
Yeah.
So I think she has that down pat.
Okay.
So while she's doing that, the girls are doing her hair, or the girl is doing her hair. So, God, I'm saying that now, we've never had a male makeup artist. Isn't that mad? And all the famous male makeup artists in the world. Never thought of that now, but there you go. But some of the girls over the years would have to, and especially if 2 of them were on, and then if the newsreader was a female as well that morning, so there might be 3 girls all lining up to get makeup done. So myself and Tommy go, grand, we'll just pop in about half.
Tommy's complexion now, Tommy Bowes' complexion is so good, he probably needs very little now. He's fit looking.
Tommy is.
Yeah.
I was just watching a video of him, and he was up on a rope, twirling himself around, and I just sent him a message and go, "Oh, you feck off."
Yeah,
like
he's a specimen.
He's annoying though.
Yeah,
but he's so brilliant though. We have
is.
great fun. But yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, and he's been a great addition to the team. You know,
he really has. Do you know what? Like over the years, when I think of all the presenters that have been on the show, and I think back, I think I'm having the most fun and the most sort of just a feel good thing. Like Tommy is like a spoiled child. You don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. He doesn't know half the time what's coming out of his mouth. Like, you know, and it's like going, and then afterwards you go, why in mother of Jesus did I say that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you go, because it's you, Tommy. Like, you know. Yeah. And Muireann then is like the one who looks after us, and she's like the teacher who goes, now you sit down there and don't be saying that. But like, we have great fun. We have a great banter. And I think, do you know, in 25 years, as you know, with yourself as well, the show evolves. So different things happen. Like for a good few years, I was out on the road a lot, doing things around the country. God, I've been to every village and town doing broadcasts from there. And so now it's changed where the three of us are very much in studio. And because of things like that, I think I've had the longevity because that has kept me interested. So it's not just, oh, here we go in studio again every morning, same old thing. And so when you try to get out like that, like I'm off filming in a few weeks' time for Fáilte Ireland and things like that, you know. So when you're doing things like that, it mixes it up. But we laugh every day. There's never been a day where we have left that studio and in the 3 hours we haven't laughed at something or like an out loud laughing. And I think when you're doing that, something's working, something's clicking, and like the latest figures for the show are just been incredible. Like we're getting our best ratings we've ever had.
Do you know what kind of ratings they are?
There was one day we had a 46% share.
Okay,
like so
that's
40
against everything.
Yeah, so 46% of people who are watching telly in the morning were watching us.
Massive,
like that's massive when you have all the BBC Newses and all the stuff.
Yeah, for context, Late Late Show would get about 40%.
Sometimes even less.
Yeah.
So, like, the available audience there, I think 2 weeks ago, we got a 46 point something share. Like, that's just incredible. Yeah. Like, that almost half the people who are watching telly in Ireland that morning are watching you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's.
Did you ever wonder,
great.
Did you ever wonder, or would you ever talk about this, why RTE never got their act together to take you on?
Like, they tried. Yeah. I know there was major talks about it. Personally, I think it's a union thing. Yeah. I think the money just because I think everybody would have been looking for the treble overtime, you know, this sort of thing. You're starting much earlier and you're doing this. So I definitely think a union thing there about the money that it would cost to put that show on. And then, of course, we were so good. How could you go against us?
Oh, God. And the lineup down through the years.
And I'm telling you.
Mark Cagney was another.
Sure, Mark, the genius that Mark Cagney was, his questions were longer than the guests' answers.
I did that once. I appeared on the Ireland AM once and I went, can you do Mark Cagney? And I sort of half did Mark Cagney, but I did more the spirit of Mark Cagney than anything else. So he said, so can I ask you about the American economy? Because hold on. It was inflation now is down from 3.9 to 3.8%. But you see, the interest rate's going up. That's going to push down inflation. So can I put it to you that the what's happening in the East Asian economy? And the economist would be left on the couch going, but you've answered the question for me.
I think his best was his question was 36 seconds. And then the guy went, no. Literally.
That's Mark.
It was 36 seconds and the guy just went, no.
Oh, brilliant.
So you just go,
yeah,
God.
Absolutely.
But he was like, Mark was so thorough. He'd be up. Now there's one like Mark could get up at 3:30, 4 in the morning. And he would be in and he would go through every newspaper. Mark knew more about a topic than the politician coming in knew about something.
Just to remind me again. So give us a few of the names that worked down with you through the years. Wasn't there Amanda Byram?
Amanda Byram started the show. Myself, Mark, and Amanda started the show.
My God.
Yeah.
And were you weatherman?
I was weather, but doing interviews as well. And then over the years, it was like, because Martin King had done it on the main station and they wanted something like that on the show as well. So the weather thing was like, let's add a bit of personality to the weather like Martin does on the evening time. And then, but I'd always have some interviews in the show or do the cooking or do whatever. So there was always that involvement in it. But Mark and Amanda, Claire Byrne.
Yeah.
Claire. Yeah. Because Claire Byrne was a newsreader, remember? Okay. And then she presented the show. Maura Duran. God, there's so many over.
Maura is a ticket.
Maura is a ticket. Like, she'd be going, then some nights be out, will we go for lizards? That's
I know.
Maura's thing for drink.
Tell me about the lizards.
We'll go for lizards.
I'd say, what are the lizards? And she'd go, all the lizards you meet out in Reynards. You were a lizard at one stage, Mario. I said, I was never a lizard. Oh, yes, you were.
Oh, you were the lizard?
That little tongue coming out and in. She'd be describing all these males going around, and she used to call them the lizards.
Yeah,
you know?
Great. And there's so many people like that. And I suppose that keeps it interesting as well and keeps it fresh, you know, because then when like Karen Coster and Karen was there, and so there's been so many over the years that it just go. But like myself and Mark were the two. Like he was my husband for 20 years, 20 of those 5 years. And then when Tommy came in, so it is. But like at the moment it is, we're having great fun.
You dumped Mark for a toy boy.
I telling you, it was time. I was getting old. I was getting fed up.
And come here, getting old, right? Because I Googled you.
Here we go.
An hour ago I Googled.
Here we go.
An hour ago I Googled you, and I discovered not only that it was your birthday the other day, but you have the same birthday as my brother. But
19th of October.
19th of October.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So it was your birthday the other day. So happy birthday!
And thank you.
But listen,
a long while ago.
I'll allow you if you want to tell people your age, but you look unbelievably well, and I know you hear people say that to you all the time.
Don't feel it today.
But you look amazing. You look amazing.
For 61.
For 61. You look amazing, doesn't he, Ed?
What?
I know.
I just
Ed did a double take.
It literally did a double take there.
I almost dropped my green juice out of my...
I'm serious, Ed.
What the?
61.
I didn't want to say it himself. I didn't want to say it to him because, you can be bashful. Some people are bashful about their age.
No, but you know what it is?
He's 61, and I swear to you, listen, listeners, if you're, I swear, you Google him or whatever, right? Now, if you Google him enough, you'll get a decent photo because people lie about their photos.
Some of them are shite.
No, but people have their photos photoshopped as well by other people.
No, yeah.
And some people photos are more flattering than others for people. But if you just average them out, you'll see, I'd say he looks about 45, 44.
But you know what, the thing about the age thing, and I think in the business you work in, sometimes it is very ageist.
Yeah, it is.
And so that's why I'm not going out there going, oh, this is my age, I'm like this. Because it can be, and I know women have that, but men in this industry have it as well. And especially if you're on TV, and especially when you're sitting beside Tommy Bowe, you're sort of going, okay, thankfully I don't look like the outfla beside them all, but there is a factor in that. And I'm sure like people, when they are getting older and they start worrying about how do I look on screen, because it's all gone high definition. It's all gone very much, you can see everything, like everything. Then you can see now if you've had a night out the night before.
Yeah.
The eyes, where you used to get away with that. Can't anymore. You're literally there in full HD. So I think there is a sense of that people will go, oh, don't give him the gig because he's too old.
Yeah, but on the other side, if you were in RTE, you'd be told you were too old and told to get lost.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you look great.
Yeah.
They'd go, I'm sorry, your wages are too high for 65.
And
get
you're
out.
going, yeah, no, I think that's terrible. I think
it's
that's
awful.
terrible the way that...
So that's where I
people,
think ageism is existing.
And I love when I meet Mary Kennedy now, because she was devastated when she had to leave RTE when she was 65.
Yeah.
And look at her now. She's doing shows for independent production companies. She's working more than ever. She's happier than ever. And I love that just didn't end for her. Like, they didn't care. Well, they can't, because that's what they had to do.
Yeah.
But they didn't care what she was going to do for the rest of her life.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was delighted for her and other people who've had to leave and be able to go into other positions like
Brian
that.
Dobson.
Yeah.
Or Sean O'Rourke.
Yeah, yeah.
Great performers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Great, well-rounded legends.
Oh, absolutely. But do you know what? That is a thing, and I'm not even sure if there's a thing in Virgin Media that I'll have to be gone in a few years.
There isn't. No, because they'll just go if you're able for it and if you're bringing in the numbers.
No, but you know what? At the same time, whether I'd still want to be doing it in 4 years' time is a different matter.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But let's say my curiosity, do you do anything to keep yourself looking young? I mean, it doesn't look like to me you do. But do you? Do you dye your hair? Do you dye your beard? Do you get Botox? Do you get injections? Do you get anything?
I have a great doctor in therapy in Malahide. His name is Dr. Tom, who literally looks after me.
So, are we saying you're letting me do the imagination?
Well, he looks after me.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
So that means
you know what I did get the last time?
What? Did you get your eyes done?
No, I got injection and it was trout sperm.
Go on, yeah, I'm loving it. This is the
Seconds,
promo.
Double take.
Well, this is the promo, thanks.
I got trout sperm injected into my face. But now, he said trout DNA, and I said, does that mean trout sperm? And he literally went, well, it does actually. They take, but the best thing was, Catherine Layden, our Odlum's lady, is a legend on the show. She's gas woman, real Dublin one. And I said it to her, I said, Catherine, do you know what I got done? And she says, what did you get done? And I said, I got trout sperm injected into my face. And she went, Mother of Jesus, did it smell? And I went, what you mean? Did it smell all over your face? And I went, no, Catherine, it's a DNA. And she says, get it away from me. She was like,
Where did you get it injected, Alan?
all around my face and my forehead.
Yeah.
You get it all injected in. It's like Profilo. People might be listening, they'd know Profilo. So Profilo sort of puts a collagen in the bottom of your face, and this is supposed to be a better version.
Plumps you slightly.
Plumps it slightly, yeah.
And plumping is, of course, the idea of keeping it young looking.
Yes.
Because when people get older, they get a bit hollow.
Get a bit sunken and hollow, so it plumps it up a bit. And it does work then for cameras, it works.
Yeah. Oh, you can see it on camera.
You can see it on camera that your face is plumped.
So,
so
just all
trout
seriousness.
sperm.
I mean, it was very funny, but all seriousness, did it work? Do you think?
Well, you're telling me I don't look 61.
I know, but I don't know how you looked before that.
I've been getting Botox and stuff for a few years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think in the industry that we're in,
And-
it's not like I'd never get my lips done. I'd never do anything like drastic.
But more and more men are getting Botox as well.
Oh
I mean,
my God, you should see clinics now that literally men are getting it done all the time. And especially like people that I know, they have lines in their forehead. I'm lucky enough I don't have lines in my forehead, so I don't need to get it. But like I'd say to a guy, look at that is aging you up. You smile and all these lines are there. I said, for a few little injections, they'd be gone and it would take years off you. So I know people have done that, but the trout sperm is a new one on me.
Brilliant.
It's a new one on me.
Brilliant stuff. And that's your face. Anything to your body
That's
or
my
anything?
No.
Because you're very slim as well. So
I try,
slim, or do you stay and go to the gym? Or?
No, I tried to swim and then recently I hurt my arm and that stopped. So
You've never been heavy though.
No, for a while I put on a bit. You know, during COVID, I definitely think I put on. I think everybody did, but that was just, even though we worked like yourselves, we worked right through COVID.
Did you?
And we were all in our bubbles and that kept me sane.
It was probably a bit of anxiety eating though. I mean, I definitely,
we all had it, but it was just boredom as well because we worked 2 days a week instead of the 4 days because we had our own bubble. So we were in our bubble, Tommy was in his bubble, and so just to work and then to do, I have to be busy.
I know, me too.
I have to be busy. And Carl's always saying to me, my husband, he was saying, Jesus, you're like a machine, you never stop.
Yeah.
But and then other people are saying to me, and I've even with a doctor and stuff like that, and they don't stop because that sort of keeps you going and keeps you
that
doing.
Keeps you on your equilibrium.
That keeps me going. I never want to be just sitting on the couch watching
What would happen to you if you did?
What?
Stop. If you did stop.
I would be bored. I'd have to look for something else.
Would you be
to do.
destructive?
Would
you be self-destructive?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think
drinking
so.
or...
Like Carl thinks I drink too much as it is. So he's like going,
okay.
Oh, is that the glug, glug, glug of the wine again?
I'm loving your lifestyle. There's people out there just going, trout sperm in the morning, Pinot Grigio in the evening.
No, Sauvignon Blanc, darling.
What a great life. You live the life of Hollywood wine.
But it's just, I do like a glass of wine. My dinner, it is only a glass of wine. But
White?
Yeah, a nice Sauvignon
Don't Greek
Blanc.
bread, no?
No. I used to give me the worst hangovers.
Yeah.
So I had to stop that. So a nutritionist said to me on the show one day, and I've always followed her advice, stay white all night.
Okay.
So champagne, white wine, and vodka.
Yeah.
That's my tree that I follow. So that's my lifestyle, darling. Champagne, wine, and vodka. There we go.
Where's the trout sperm?
Where's the trout sperm? Get it more trout sperm.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I was thinking, 25 years of being on live television and all the kind of stunts you have to do and all the kind of people you have to talk to. I'd say that you'll either get found out if it doesn't occur to you that something inside you must either really like people or love people or be curious about people. I don't know if you could really do this job like you're doing it unless you were interested by people, and unless you could turn around and tell me I couldn't give a shite about people. I was thinking you must, though.
I know you do. I mean, like, there's some people that know. You just go, God, we know what they're like coming in. Like, you know, they're on to plug something. They don't give a hoot about you. They're just on to do that. But there's so many viewers over the years, that they come in, they tell their life story. They're battling diseases. They're battling. It's like even with Laura Lynn. Like we've done so much stuff. I've done so much stuff with Laura Lynn, with the show and the viewers. Like we've raised over 500,000, I think more, for Laura Lynn over the few years that we've been doing stuff with them. And they're the stories that really get to you.
Do they stay with you?
Do you know what? There was one woman, and we were up there, and you know, Laura Lynn, they give the respite so they can go in now as well. So just for respite for a few hours. And this woman was dropping her daughter in, who's severely and mentally handicapped. Physically and mentally handicapped, and she was dropping her in for 2 hours. And I says, what are you going to do? And she said, I'm going to go and have a coffee and get my hair done. And she says, for me, that's like winning the lottery, that I can just drop her in for 2 hours knowing that she's going to be looked after, she's going to be safe, and I can go and have a coffee, I can go and get my hair done and not have to worry. And you just go, oh my God, I shouldn't be giving out about my life. You know, as we all do. We all moan about something. And there's things like that stay with you and strike you like, my God, I have it so lucky. I always try to be the half glass full man. Have always been all my life, because like an awful lot of people go to me like, both my parents died within 6 months of each other when I was 10. So some people might say, oh my God, that would have sent you down a path of drink and drugs, and because I was being sent off to my brother and I didn't work out, and I was like, you know, nothing to do with my brother, but just I hated what the situation involved. And I think myself decided I have to see the bright side in life. I have to see the thing. Like there's been a lot of tragedies in my life over the years, and with deaths and families and stuff in my family and stuff. So if I were to let myself be a negative person, I definitely think I would have gone down a very dark path, a very, very dark path. And the fact that I haven't, and have come through it, and I'm still on TV, like still doing panto, like, you know, there's another side of my career that's been 30 years doing it. So in that respect, I try to be a positive person and see the best in people. But yet there's always people that you just go after the interview's over, you go, thanks very much, because you just know that they're being not real, you know.
Have you ever witnessed or been part of an interview that was a complete and utter dog's dinner? Not for you don't have to mention names, or you can if you want.
But there is type of things, but it's like,
has anybody ever really clammed up, for example, or been
totally.
Go on.
Oh, totally. Like, but just people like the general public.
Okay.
Where they come in and they're talking about something, or it's like we used to do a section called Boost My Business and stuff like that. So these people are just business people, and then they're thrust onto the TV and think, oh, this is my 6 minutes of fame. And they literally go like rabbit in the headlights. Yeah. And it's like, so tell me about your business. It's in a shop, you know, and you're going, okay, what's the name of the shop? What do you do? Like, you know, and then
guide them through it.
And you're, literally then just guide them through it. You have to just guide them through it and guide them along. But that's live TV for you. Of course, over the years, that has happened many, many times. And like, I suppose, me being thrown, I think Ellen was my one big one that I really went.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yes.
Go on, tell me about that.
So, because when myself and Carl got married, Ellen was on TV3 at the time, and our PR, Maureen Catterson in Virgin, or in TV3 at the time, we were going to LA for a honeymoon, and she organised us to go to the Ellen show. Yeah. And Ellen couldn't have been nicer. Brought us, like, the producers brought us in. She was lovely, brought us backstage, introduced us to our mother, to Portia, gave us a big mention. I was literally going, I was blown away by it. They gave us a tape of the intro that we did with Ellen and stuff like that. And I was like saying to Carl, we're moving to LA. Oh, we're in with Ellen. Ellen's our bestie now. We're moving to LA and forget about everything else. So then a couple of years later, she was doing the promo for Finding Dory, the movie, movie. And so I was in London and I says, oh, me and Ellen, I'll go in. We'll just be best pals. So I went in and I literally said, before we start the interview, I just want to thank you for being so good to me and my husband when you were in LA and introducing us to Portia and everybody. And it was just amazing. And she just went, yeah. And I froze.
Okay.
And every question in my body that I had for her went out the window. And I start rambling and start going on. And she was a nightmare.
Right.
She was a nightmare. And I just went... So halfway through because she'd be going, like, I was sort of going, like, asking stupid questions, like, about the voice. She was doing the voice of, like the fish. And I was, like, going, back to the trout. Yeah. She was doing the voice of the fish. So I said, like, it was a stupid question, but, you know, like, oh, did you evolve into the part the more you did it? And she says, no, don't be so stupid. You have to do it the same way from day one. And I went, of course you do. Yeah. Like, and then I was getting... And then I just went, you know, well, feck it. And then I start asking her, like, mad questions, stupid questions. And then you're never allowed to do a selfie with these things. So I just said to her, had my phone. I said, well, you did it at the Oscars with the selfie. Let's do a selfie. So I walked over to her, got the phone out. I could see the PR woman running towards me to grab the phone off me. And I just got it. And I have it on my Instagram there. And it's her face like,
Yeah. Ah, well.
Well, I still have it.
Great.
Me and Ellen.
You handled it like a trooper.
Yeah, but it was just, you know, the way some people that you think she'd been so nice and then to turn like that, just she was having an off day.
Yeah.
And someone says, oh, she was having an off day. And I said, you can't have an off day when you're promoting your movie that you're trying to get people to go and see.
Yeah.
And I flew over to London to interview her.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, totally.
You know,
yeah.
so
and
it's
she's
just,
used to not having an off day. We're all used to
exactly,
smile, the camera's
smile
on,
and do it.
you know, even if you feel like shite, you know.
But you know, and you'd never turn around to an interview and say, "Don't be so stupid,"
No, not at all.
or like, you know, if somebody's there to set, like, to promote you. But anyway, that was my Ellen story.
Absolutely, yeah. And just back to the Laura Lynn thing. Have you ever felt yourself, maybe, because we all have, it's live TV and we've all been through stuff ourselves and we all go through different cycles, even circadian rhythms of the day. You might be feeling good one day and not so good the other day. You might be feeling vulnerable one day. Did you ever feel yourself getting emotional on television, hearing a story?
Oh, yeah. I have cried.
Really? No way.
Oh, yeah. Like, we've broken down. Yeah, I've broken down with people telling us their stories.
Have you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it does get to you. I mean, because you'd have to be an absolute rock of a person not to cry and just, like, have no emotions. Like, some of the stories that people tell you about what's gone on with them, maybe abuse or maybe, like, just, and especially some of the illnesses, and when you have parents there with young children and what they have to do for them, and then they're breaking down. And you, like, I've cried many a time over the years where you just, like, have to take a minute, and so is Mirren. Mirren's she's great at that, but she's very soft on the inside. And then she'd hold it, and they'd leave the studio, and then she'd break down.
Mirren is smart as a tackist. She's sharp as a tack.
Yeah, she's a sharp. But, like, she would then wait, and then she'd break down, and she'd have a little cry, and then she'd go, "No, I'm grand. I'm okay now." You know.
Oh,
right. But yeah. Of course, it affects you, especially when it's like just real life stories, and you know how these people have been affected.
It certainly helps you to learn gratitude in your own
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Yeah,
absolutely. Back to the beginning in a way, because I was thinking about you, and I was going, I think I met Alan for the first time. You can possibly confirm this or not. So in 1991, I had a small part in a film called The Treaty, with Brendan Gleeson playing Michael Collins.
That's right.
And I shared a Winnebago with Brendan Gleeson, who was an emerging actor at the time. And he was such a nice guy to share a Winnebago with. And I played a character called Emmett Dalton, one of Michael Collins' right-hand men. And I think you were on that movie.
I was, because I did extra work with Equity for years and years and years, to the stage where I was the shop steward for the Equity people.
I see.
So I would be the one checking their name, making sure everyone was on the bus that morning. And so, yeah, the Treaty, Irish RM, everything that was being made here.
You would have been.
I was being, like, especially in the Irish RM. We were on the Irish RM every second week. It was like, my God, here we are again. But yeah, I was the shop steward for, like, the extras or supporting artistes, as they're called now.
Yes.
But they were extras back then.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's amazing to think of it, like, the money that we made in those things. Like, you'd be getting like 120 pounds a day.
Correct.
You know, like
In
for
the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
For, you just found,
Big
like,
money.
Big money. 100. And if you were on that for 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
you're coming out £600-700
Monthly wage.
Yeah, a monthly wage for mostly sitting around all day doing nothing.
Yes.
Until you were called to do
Eating
a
other
scene.
people's food.
Yeah, eating, and that's all you did was eat and drink tea.
Yeah, I know.
But incredible money, like for the times that people were in, and so I used to love it. And then like go out to RTE to do. Well, I remember Glenroe. You know Glenroe, but I used to do extra work in Glenroe in the bar and all the time, or doing in the all the time.
There you are. Yeah.
So yeah, like those are good old days. They were the good old days.
And before that, were you in Bunratty dancers?
I was one of the famous Bunratty and the Pug entertainers.
What is that? I remember Bunratty Castle.
Yeah,
and
but you know the
American Tourist.
Yeah.
Well, what would you do?
The butler. Do you know the guy that stands up and welcomes everybody?
Okay.
The girls who sing. Have you never been to
No.
You've never been to a medieval banquet?
Not really.
No, really.
Actually, no.
Well, I suppose Irish people wouldn't. I suppose. God, that's mad that you've never been to it. Yeah.
So you're an American, right? You come in.
Yeah.
The Americans come in, and do they believe you're real?
No, we are real. We're the butler and the women of
Yeah, but
the
do they
castle.
go, "Hey, Martha, there's a real Irish butler over there"?
Yeah, they sort of do that.
But I mean, like, you're not real. You're paid performer.
Yeah, no, but
they go,
it's
"My
like
God."
it's the butler and the ladies of the castle. So they all sing the songs and they do
Okay.
the whole thing, and the
So it's
harp is
entertainment.
there, the fiddler. Yeah, it's the entertainment. But as part of that, we serve the food.
Ah, so like
Well,
the dumb waiters.
Yeah,
Or the flying,
thanks.
the drunken
the dumb
waiters.
waiters.
The drunken waiters.
Well, a bit like that, without being drunk. Well, we did have a lot of mead. The mead, oh my God.
So you
The
were in a
stories.
sense, you're being sorry for my ignorance. You're being employed by Bunratty to be entertainers, but also servers
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Okay.
And it still happens to this day. That's what they do.
Does it?
So I was mainly based in Napogue Castle, beautiful castle just in Quinn outside Limerick, and Bunratty, but worked in both of them. But they were great days
Yeah.
as well. Dirty Nelly's, Fitzpatrick's
Yes, Dirty
Hotel
Nelly's,
there.
yeah. And is that good fun? Yeah.
Oh, great
Yeah,
nights.
yeah. And
Like,
I
just
see
great nights.
some like mad Americans.
Mad things. I mean, things like you just couldn't believe it. Like we were in Bunratty one night and this American came up and she's at the door and she says, "Oh my God, isn't it so good they built the castle so close to the motorway?" And you're just going,
Excellent.
and then they would actually think that the national anthem was "Shove the colleen around the green." They would sing this at the end of the national anthem. And then the best one was we were working in the Pogue Castle one night, and this Globus bus tour came up, and this woman got off, and she's at Napogue, and she started crying, and she went, "I've waited 50 years to come to Bunratty." And we're going, shit, don't mention the Pogue anywhere through the night. Take the Pogue references out. So the whole night we didn't even mention where she was because she'd waited 50 years to come to Bunratty Castle. She's in the wrong castle. I said, let's not say anything. Well, look, she left. She thought she was at Bunratty after 50 years. We didn't tell her.
So you're in Bunratty, had some wonderful adventures there, and then you were steward of the equity extras, and you did all films and TV and all that stuff, and then you landed on TV, and 25 years later. But all throughout of this, of course, you are doing the aforementioned panto.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, one of the loves of your life, but also one of the, it's a huge business for you as well.
It's a big part of our life and a big part of our business. Yeah.
And it's you and your husband Carl that run it together. And did the panto predate you and Carl, or did?
No, I'd done panto. My very first panto was with the Fabulous Twink.
Go on.
Yeah, Fabulous Twink.
Go on.
Love
Well, there
it
must
to
be a story you can share.
Oh, there's
about
no
Twink.
stories I can share on that.
She'll only hack your nuts off. I fucking
Zip up
get
your
ya.
Mickey.
She sends me voice messages on Facebook.
For 2 hours long.
Voice messages.
Yeah, yeah, I love her to bits.
Yeah,
but yeah,
she's something.
She's something else. But I was in London a few weeks ago at Hello Dolly in the Palladium, and I texted her because they were doing Sunday Close, and that was one of the big numbers we did in the first panto I ever did with her, and she took me out of the male chorus and she said, "Alan, give Alan a few lines here," because Imelda Staunton was playing the part, Imelda from the Queen. Yeah. So, and I said, "Imelda Staunton's on stage and is just reminding of you and what a star you are." And she just texted me back, "Well, that's a lovely message to get of a Friday night." But she is, do you know what? She, like, when you think of over the years, she was Ireland's premier star.
Yeah.
You know, she was and still is, but she's not doing it now. But like Twink was the panto star. And I swear to God, in that first year, I learned so much from her about work ethic. If it's the one thing I learned, it's the work ethic. And when you're on stage, you are giving 110%.
Well, explain that more. What did you learn about the work ethic?
Just to be not lazy and give it. Like, give it. And I always do that. Like, even
When you mean give it, do you mean when you're on stage?
Yeah, no, but just like give it. Like she was 100%, 110% there on stage for that audience.
She never
Never. It was never like, oh, I'll walk that way because it's a bit easier, or I'll do this, or never shirked a dance routine because it was really difficult. It would be, no, let's do the biggest number we can.
So you think you learned something from
I
her?
definitely
Really?
did. Yeah, I definitely did. And I think that's what we would do. But like,
because I was going to ask you about that, because to do what you do need a strong work ethic.
when you're doing 2 shows a day, yeah, so you're doing a matinee and an evening show, or it might be a school show and an evening show, you do need a good work ethic. I always think panto's the hardest thing you can do in like theatre, because other theatres just do their nighttime shows and maybe a matinee on Saturday. But when you're doing panto, it's huge. The numbers are big. The dance routines are huge. It has to be. It has to be an extravaganza.
The costs are big.
The costs
You're
are big.
paying a lot of people and a lot of costumes, and you're paying.
When we started in a little theatre up the quays called St. Anthony's Theatre, which was part of the church there. And we remember our first panto cost us £22,000.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, our panto will cost us over 300,000.
Right.
So that's the input that myself and Carl put into it. So we have to invest over 300,000 every year to put our panto on in the National Stadium.
And that's a chunk of change.
That's a chunk of change if it snows for a week and if something happens or if there's storms or whatever. Like, you know, so you just like fingers crossed, scary pants time.
Give me a percentage. What percentage business do you have to do to make that 300,000 come back and the rest?
Well, you'd need like 70% business on that. And that's a lot. Like,
have you done more than 70% business?
Yeah, like, of course.
Have you done 80 and 85?
Yeah.
Great. That's happy days then.
Yeah, I know. We've such loyal
Then you're
fans.
off to Bunratty yourself.
Yeah, then I'm going down.
Extra trout sperm, please.
After the panto. Yeah, I mean, but it is scary pants time because you just don't know. We've a real loyal following that we've built up over the years. Because the Sammy Sausages character and the Buffy character that Carl has developed over the years have just taken on a life of their own. I get shouted at in supermarkets, airports, Sammy Sausages. Not there's Alan from Ireland AM.
Yeah.
It's Sammy Sausages.
Right.
And kids have grown up with Sammy Sausages. And I think it's also the fact that because I was able to do that, I think if there was one reason people kept saying, oh, why did you stay with Ireland AM? I think the only reason I would have left was maybe to go into acting or shows or theatre or do something to get that itch, you know, when you have that itch. So because I was able to do that in parallel throughout all those years, that sort of scratched the itch at Christmas time, got it out of my system, was able to do the big live shows and get your applause and just have that great panto feeling. And we do call it our panto family. And like even now at the National Stadium where we are, like you adapt to the times. Like we have these massive screens now, you know, so it's like the whole thing is like this moving image and you still have the sets coming on. But like you just go, so every year it's trying to like up it. Like, you know, we've Susan McFadden in it this year and I was only talking, they're doing song choices tomorrow. And I was just saying to Carl, look, we've Susan McFadden. She's been a West End star. She's been in Celtic Woman. We've got to give her 2 big, huge numbers that will just knock the socks off everyone. Like, you know, so like that. And I get excited about
totally,
that. Because I can actually see.
And it's new every year.
Yeah, like, you know, and then Niall, who we have as our beast, he's just done the West End and he's done Les Mis and he's done Miss Saigon. Whoa. He played Chris in Miss Saigon. So there's another big star. So you're just going, we have to give him a big number.
Yeah, so even relatively speaking, your panto has ratcheted up.
Oh, big time.
In terms of, because I remember
size and scale. Yes,
your panto used to be. I remember thinking your panto was always more of a niche panto, smaller. Than the other.
Well, it was because it was in the Tivoli.
As big.
It is now.
Yeah,
because we were in the Tivoli for so many years.
So you're as big as the Gaiety now.
The stage is as big, yes, and the venue would be as big because we could get 1,200 people into the stadium. Yeah,
Wow, that's big business now.
Yeah. So
And do you do the same length of run?
no, that's
No.
the good thing.
Right.
You can cut it right down. I remember years ago we might do 6 or 7 weeks. Now it's 4 max, and it's done because you're in and
4
it's
weeks.
done. Yeah,
4
done.
weeks. And how many thousand people do you think?
About 32,000 people
Okay, I
come
get
to
that.
see it.
That's
Yeah,
big.
Yeah.
30,000
Yeah.
people by 40 quid?
No,
No? 30
no.
quid?
We have a family ticket now that is a family of 4 for €99, and that's the
Oh,
best
that's
value in
great.
town. And we did it deliberately this year because we were getting people
Is this
going.
new? That-
Yes, yeah, we've
great.
done it this year because
€99.
€99 for
Okay.
a family of 4, and I kept hearing it going. Do you know what? There's a cost of living crisis. People can't afford it. People still want to come to see the show because years ago, like you were talking about the Celtic Tiger, years ago people would go to more than one panto.
That's right.
They might go to us. They might go to the Gaiety. They might go ice skate rink or ice skating.
Yes.
They might do a couple of things because the money was there. Now it's a decision what to go to and where to go. So I'm delighted we were able to do that, and I just think that's a nice give back because we've done well out of the panto over the years, and it's nice to be able to say I don't want to be greedy and I just want to help
Well,
this along as
I
we can. I love the fact that there's kids coming to our pantos the first time they've seen live theatre. It might be the first, it's not on a telly, it's not on their pad, it's not on their phone, it's live. And when you see a child's face literally with their eyes wide open or their mouth open, watching all these things happening, or actually terrified when the beast comes on and crying into the mother's arms, it's a joy to watch. And I love the fact that then I hope that will instill in them maybe something that they will maybe want to carry on something in the industry or carry on with their family then when they just keep going to theatre and to try and keep live entertainment alive.
Are tickets on sale now?
Oh yeah, panto.ie. You go on the site and all our videos are there, all you meet the cast and panto.ie. It's so simple. It's just get on, yeah.
Has there been any impact of the idea of political correctness or being careful about what you have to say or about offending certain groups or about being inclusive? Do you have to... he's scratching his head now. His fists are in the air. Does that?
Do you know what? It drives me insane. What? I just think...
Because panto traditionally has been...
Yes, this is my thing.
A naughty zone.
The Irish Times got onto me because the prince kissed the princess at the end of the show when she didn't ask to be kissed.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I literally went... And she was literally going to make a big thing out of it. And I went, okay. I said, children have seen this pantomime for hundreds of years. This pantomime's been out there. They've seen it hundreds of times. And it's not affecting them. Why are you... No, she says, it's sending out the wrong message that the prince kissed her and she didn't ask to be kissed. And I know you have some people listening to saying that that's fair enough. But, she wakes up, Sleeping Beauty. She wakes up then and she's saved. If he didn't kiss her, she'd be still dead. It's not a great end to the panto. I'm just going, what am I supposed to do? Sort of give her a little nudge and see, does she wake up first? The whole thing. And it's like we're doing Beauty and the Beast this year.
Aladdin, are we sure we want to paint Muslims in this light?
Well, do you know what? Snow White, can you have 7 dwarfs anymore? No, you can't.
Well, why is she called White?
Oh, yeah. Look, yeah. But the last time we did Snow White, we had to cut 7 dwarfs out. So it was Snow White, The Adventures of Snow White, and Sammy and Buffy.
You can't say dwarfs?
No.
Ah, that's a pity.
Yeah.
Snow White and the 7
We didn't say
vertically challenged people.
No, it was just Snow White. But we're doing...
Snow Caucasian and the 7 vertically challenged.
So we're doing Beauty and the Beast this year. And if anyone knows the story of Beauty and the Beast dies... Belle then realizes she loved him and she kisses him, and before the last petal on the rose falls. That's the story. If she didn't kiss him, he would stay dead. So she has to kiss him. This is the thing. So I'm going, okay, how can you be politically correct about this? Do we get around it that he just wakes up?
Can you joke about it?
I won't, because I think it's a Disney film. They still do it that way on Broadway, and when Disney do it, it's still done that she kisses the beast and the big transformation happens and he becomes the prince.
What I was referring to was the idea that as she kisses the beast, Could you make some reference to what about the consent? And he said, "Shut your mouth."
No, because that would ruin it.
Yeah.
I think that would ruin it because that is a special moment.
Of
because
course it is.
She literally is kissing me, and the whole transformation.
So it does hang over you.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Any other
no,
examples?
especially when reviewers come in and they say things like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, then one year we got into trouble because, we didn't have enough diversity in the show. And I'm just going, well, we had Pamela Umba out, who was our fairy 2 years ago, and we were getting, oh, well done now for putting her in the show. And I'm going, I put her in the show because she was damn good and she looked amazing and she was brilliant. And we held open auditions this year for all the cast, for the whole thing. Not one coloured person came along to our audition. So unless I have to go out and literally try and find somebody, all our cast are white this year. And that's nothing to do with me. We held open auditions and nobody came in. So I can't be held responsible for when you're casting like that. I'm not deliberately doing it. But like you get praised some years for doing it and then you get criticised because there's not enough diversity in the cast.
Interesting. Really interesting. Really interesting. I didn't know what the answer to that question was going to be. And it was a big one for you because you were shaking your fist.
No, it was just the Irish Times when they were doing that. And I'm just going, what are you going to get out of this? Like, you know, what is the bottom line out of this that you will sort of see that you've made your mark on this sort of, you know, it's a kid's panto and they love the fairy tale. They love it and it's a tale as old as time. It's tradition.
The final thing, Alan, is for people of a certain age, and I mean either your age or my age even, and I'm slightly younger than you, and even people a little bit younger than me, the first time they ever would have seen Alan Hughes, believe it or not, is in I think a 1985 television ad, around 1985, television ad for ESB, which was iconic, is iconic.
Was
iconic ad. And it was the great Dusty Springfield, I think I'm coming home, coming back to the place I knew so well. And it's beautiful, and you're a kid coming back from college, and you're coming back to see his family, just for the break. And
for Christmas.
Christmas. You're coming home for Christmas,
Yeah.
and you're seeing all the places that you inhabited as a youth, and you're coming home. It's a beautiful, beautiful ad with Dusty's Forever.
And we did a sketch with you on it.
And then I took the piss out of the ad and I asked you to be in the ad about 30 years later. And the reason I did the sketch was I wanted the ad to be that the boy coming home in that car, which was you again all those years later, he's gay.
Yeah.
And he's married and he's coming home and he hands his laundry to his mammy and I'm your mammy and I say, feck off, get your husband to do it.
Yeah.
But then at the very end of the ad, you can see welcome home, and instead of the ESB logo, we just had yes.
Yeah.
And yes was, I get my hair stands up on my arms when I think about it, because yes was just a little nod to the referendum.
Yeah.
And of course you were married. When were you married?
We were married, like when it passed, we had our civil partnership, and then we actually got married. It's so funny. We had our civil partnership. We'd like 180 people at our civil partnership up in the round room of the Mansion House, and we 2 people at our wedding. Then when we decided after everything passed to go through. But yeah, it was an amazing day. It was amazing. Like I still sort of get teary-eyed when I think of it, that we had come so far and we'd done that, and it passed, and just so many people to come out to vote yes, coming home from Australia, coming over from Europe to actually say yes, like marriage should be legal. But then when you see things recently about homophobia attacks in the city, homophobia attacks and slurs around other parts of Ireland at the moment, I think we are starting to regress, and I think it's going back, and I think it's not as good as we were. We were on a high then, and everybody was loving it, and everybody was in this bubble. And I think the bubble has burst, and homophobia will never go away, I don't think. It'll never go away. It's like there'll always be someone who'll have something to say about you. Call you the queer off the telly, call you that, do all that. I don't think that's ever going to change, because I just don't think society will let it change. There's always going to be people who are hate-filled out there.
It's possibly been exacerbated as well by that kind of bro, macho,
and
toxic
I think
culture
the whole
out
toxic thing, and I think when you're looking at America and you're looking at Trump and the Trumpites and all that, and thus, like, I just think there's definitely things since COVID, and I just think people feel there's an anger out there that I don't think was there before COVID. And I just think that is an awful pity. And there's still people in this country who are gay, who are lesbian, who are trans, who are afraid to come out. And that is a shame. Living in small villages and towns around this country who are still afraid to come out. And I would say to any parent or any brother and sister, if you actually feel that your son or your daughter is gay or trans or having any kind of problems, maybe you should confront it. Because so many mothers had said to me, oh, I was waiting on her to tell me. I was waiting on him to tell me. And it took years for him to tell it. And only them saying, if I'd only said it like 5 years ago, none of this would have,
So bring it up yourself.
Bring it up or just have a chat, like be washing your dishes and go, by the way, like, you hadn't had a girlfriend or a boyfriend in a long time. Yeah. Like, there's no problem if you're gay or anything like that. Yeah. Just casually just drop it into a conversation. And then if they go, mad, I'm so bleeding stupid, then you'll...
Still broken the ice.
Yeah, you've still broken the ice about it. And maybe if they aren't, they still say, mad, I'm so bleeding stupid, they might be more comfortable to come bring it back around later. Again, Yeah. So, and I just think, be aware of it, because my heart goes out to some people still in this country and I know people, friends of ours, who haven't told their parents. Yeah. And I just going, and I've met the parents, and I'm going, but I've met the parents. Carl's met the parents.
Like Panto. He's behind you.
How do they think we know each other?
Denial Central.
Denial Central, so it's like...
Brilliant.
Oh,
we'll leave it there. I'm telling you, I'm going to put the link to the video that we did, the sketch that we did
it was so
in
fun.
podcasting. It's a lovely little ad, and I still got a chuckle from it. And Alan has hardly changed in the 30 years between the time he did the first ad and the second ad. We even put the same sort of jacket on him, and he looked identical.
So fun.
His hair hasn't changed. It was a really good ad, and it was a sketch from the Mario Rosenstock TV show in 2015, around the time of the marriage referendum. Alan, we'll leave it there. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Come and see the Panto, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's four of us. We might do the 99.
Anytime.
99 value. The national 99.
The National Stage
National
in panto.ie.
Thanks a million for coming in. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Pleasure.
And listen, keep going.
There we go.
And my thanks to Alan Hughes for coming in to talk to me on the Mario Rosenstock podcast. My thanks to all of you as well. Don't forget, you can contact me directly for this new season of the Mario Rosenstock podcast. It's mariorosenstock@gmail.com. I read them all and I get back to most of them. You know, those people who've contacted me, you know that I do get back to you. And thanks for all the nice things you said about the podcast coming back. And of course, especially to our sponsors, On Ice. Thank you, Ireland's premium ice skating experience, for getting involved in the whole podcasting world and my podcast in particular. Thanks to On Ice, Ireland's premium ice skating experience. It's almost nationwide, folks. It's Dublin and Dundrum and Swords, Marion Market in Cork, Waterford, Limerick and Galway. So why not enjoy Ireland's #1 festive and family entertainment this Christmas at onice.ie. That's where you get your tickets. And if you want to come and see me perform, not on Ice, but if you want to come and see me perform in my own Gift Grub Live 25 show celebrating 25 years of Gift Grub, I'm in the 3 Arena at March 28th, Friday night, March 28th, and I'm nationwide as well. Cork, Limerick, Galway, Waterford, all over the country. Check Ticketmaster for details. Right, that's it. Back same time, same place next week. Take it easy, folks.
The Mario Rosenstock Podcast with On Ice. Ireland's premium ice skating experience, where winter memories are made. Visit onice.ie.
GoLoud. Sounds better with us.